America, the land of opportunity, or so they say. But for who? For workers? For immigrants? Not so much. Over the last 50 years things have gotten worse. Much worse. The promise of a fair shot has become a cruel joke. Our rights have been chipped away. Slowly. Deliberately. Like a sculptor carving away at a statue. Until there's nothing left but dust. Wages are stagnant. Healthcare is a luxury. And good luck finding a job that doesn't treat you like a cog in a machine. Remember unions? Those guys who used to fight for workers? Well, they've been infiltrated. Co-opted by the very forces they were meant to oppose. Big business, corporate interests. They've wormed their way in, whispering sweet nothings in the ears of union leaders. And guess what? It worked. We've been sold out, betrayed by the very people who were supposed to have our backs. And it's time we called them out on it. Let's talk about the labor movement. It started with a simple goal: protect workers, fight for fair wages, safe working conditions, and a voice on the job. Immigrants, the backbone of this country, were right there with them. They knew that an injury to one is an injury to all. They understood the power of solidarity, and they fought like hell for their rights. But somewhere along the way, things changed. The focus shifted. Instead of fighting for federal protections, they started settling for scraps at the state level. Enter ALEC, the American Legislative Exchange Council. A bunch of corporate lobbyists disguised as a think tank. They've been writing legislation for decades. And guess who's been using it? State legislatures across the country, weakening worker protections, undermining unions, all in the name of economic growth. And the worst part, some unions have bought into it. They've been seduced by the promise of power, of influence. The Teamsters endorsing Trump, that should tell you everything you need to know. Here's the thing about betrayal. It's not just one person. It's a system. A network of enablers who turn a blind eye to injustice. We're talking about politicians, progressive leaders, even some unions. They've been silent, complicit, more interested in maintaining the status quo than rocking the boat. Remember when the Democrats had a chance to fight for a national workers' compensation commission? They didn't even try. And the Green Party, the Socialist Party, they talk a big game about workers' rights. But when it came time to actually do something, they were nowhere to be found. Meanwhile, the Chamber of Commerce has been working overtime, lobbying against any and all worker protections, and they've been winning. The human cost? It's immeasurable. Workers injured on the job, families struggling to make ends meet, lives destroyed because someone decided that profits were more important than people. This is a crisis. A crisis of conscience, a crisis of leadership, but most of all, a crisis for workers. We need to reclaim our rights, demand better, hold our leaders accountable, and we need to do it now. First things first, clean house. Get rid of the union leaders who are in bed with big business. They've forgotten who they represent. Next, let's get loud, real loud. Call out the politicians who are failing us, the ones who take corporate money and then pretend to care about working people. We need a national workers' compensation commission. Now. No more state-by-state patchwork. We deserve comprehensive protections, and we need to stand together. Workers, immigrants, everyone who believes in a fair shot. This isn't about left or right, it's about right and wrong. It's about time we stopped letting them get away with it.